Hello, my name is Miki Nakai. I'm looking after marketing and product development for the Antron brand, a high-performance nylon carpet fiber for offices, education, hospitals, and retailers. Can you please tell us about yourself and your company?
Yes, hello, I'm Nathalie Weinmann. I'm a senior consultant for innovation and lifestyle. And I'm here with my colleague.
Hello, I'm Géraldine Bouchot. I'm Trend and Forecasting Director at Carlin Creative Trend Bureau. And Carlin forecasts consumers' behavior worldwide. And we decipher trends to elaborate creative solutions for companies to help them to produce the right product or the right service or the right design at the right time. So we are well renowned for our color expertise, and we provide guidance also for regarding CMF, what we call CMF, color, material, and finishes.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Today, I would like to ask you about how workplace interior have been affected by COVID-19 and design solution for it. So my first question is, for many, work had involved leaving the house and moving to a workplace. Do you think the concept of work have changed after the implementation of working from home on a huge scale?
Yes, of course. It's a massive changes because workers who used to work in offices now they experiment the fact of remote work for now more than 1 year. So they improved kind of knowledge first with digital tools. And this knowledge will they will keep this knowledge forever now. So this is the first big change. And the second big change is about the fact that they discover they can have more time, leisure time, because they will not spend many hours in traffic jam in overcrowded cities to go to work. So this is a benefit that they will not forget, even after the crisis. And that's these are the two big changes that companies will have to manage after the sanitary crisis.
So having to work remotely, do you think customer expectation in services or product have changed?
Yes, what has changed is that the fact that with the learning about digital tools, people just realize that they can bring everything at home. In fact, you just have to push on internet and everything can come at your home. So it's very comfortable. It's very easy. So it means that tomorrow people will need some motivation to go outside, to make the effort to go outside and to buy things or to go to companies or to do everything. So the big challenge for consumers and for companies to make some attractivity for the consumers to go outside. It means that all the companies and shops and everything will have to be much more experiential, much more attractive, much more to decide people to go outside, because it's very easy now to you just use digital and everything can come at home. So this is a big challenge.
Right, I see. So as the workplace is becoming more flexible and like you said, people need reasons to come to the office.
Yeah.
So the role of office space is shifting to being more about connecting people through collaboration, sharing culture and community.
Yeah.
So what can CMF do to maintain a sense of belonging in office space while their recommendation of social distancing?
In fact, CMF has now two roles. It has to reassure the workers in the office. It has to be very reassuring with a good hygiene and the fact that it must allow to feel a real safe well-being. So this is the first role. And the second role, as I said just before, is the fact that the CMF has to be very, very attractive, has to be like something wow experience when you come to the office. So you have to find a good balance between the fact that you have to reassure all the workers, and you have also to make them to feel good. So this is the big challenge in offices for next years.
Do you think office will disappear?
No, not for sure. Sorry for that. No, office will not disappear because people need to find back their colleague, to find creativity together. If a company wants to innovate tomorrow, they will have to be all together. So I think it's more something like a new balance between some days you remote work and you stay at home, and some days everyone comes to the office to be together and to create, to innovate together. So this is maybe the role of the office tomorrow, a place where you can think about the development of the company, a place where you can create, you can innovate, and a strategic place, in fact. And when you can find all your colleagues and a kind of emulsion all together.
And you have seen in the past also, in the past of this year, that sometimes only working with Zooms and microteams, etc., and video conferences is not as efficient as you speak directly to people.
Yeah.
It goes sometimes much faster. We experienced this the last seasons. So sometimes you have to be all together and to have a conclusion and go faster.
You have to find new compromises. You have to find new organization. You have to find, so it can be very innovative also to do that. So the best companies will succeed to do that, for sure.
Right. Okay. What design concepts work for office space post-COVID-19, and what are the key colors and key color palette?
Yes, we can see three different trends. All of them, of course, has to make the office more attractive and worth leaving the comfort of home, of course. So the first one is design concept should really enable human interactions, IRL, in a safe way, combining conviviality and hygienic safety. And it should be something very easy to live, not quite cool, quite easy to live in every day. So we think that you have more to natural colors and soft clear neutrals. Like, for example, it's a color palette. You can see it. With the non-neutral tones. And for fabrics, you can have, for example, this kind of natural fabrics, wood, of course, clearer tones, and combine it now with new metallics, which have antimicrobial properties. So to combine it together, have something quite warm and welcoming, but at the same time very hygienic. We think this is a very interesting main trend to go on for this. On the other place should be something you can't have at home. It's a parallel trend, something which is very stylish, it has a strong personality, it creates an interest of the place itself, by CMF, for example, and the desire to be and the pride to be part of it. So you can see some more, the second trend, you can see some more elegant colors, more darker tones, deeper tones, which are quite trendy at the moment, and combined to fabrics, of course, in these color palettes, which have more darker tones, more elaborated structures, more shine on it. You can see it.
Yes.
Yeah, and softer touch.
Yes.
So to transport some
leathery.
It's leathery. You can for one more luxury department would be interesting to have this vegan leathers, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's slightly shimmer.
Yeah, you can have shimmer too to contrast something which is matte and something that's more shimmering. And of course in this kind of darker palette.
Right.
And for especially for younger generation, for more Gen Z, You see real influence of the digital world also coming into colors and fabrics. So something which is more inspired by the colors you can see on screen, not the color of reality, which is a bit difficult to introduce. So I'll show you some fabric samples which are quite aerial. You have these kind of colors, yeah, you know. Of course, this is very shiny and a bit demonstrative, but the same thing here. You can have this kind of pastel tones coming out from it. And we do see it develop in two different color ranges. Either you have these strong brights here, very electrifying, or you have these light, slightly strange pastels, also very unusual, coming up. This is just an emerging trend for the instance, but we think to look forward is quite interesting, especially for younger people.
The influence of digital will be more and more mixing with reality and virtuality and everything, so it will be important in CMF.
So what would you recommend for like very big meeting room?
It depends on the target, and it depends also on the personality of the company.
Yeah.
What you want to reflect of yourself. If you want to be reassuring, easy to live, of course you go more to the natural colors and softer tones. If you want to be very chic and elegant and impress your clients and your partners, you go more to something more sophisticated and darker tones, of course.
It's very important that the CMF fits with the activity of the company. It's really important to reflect what the company wants to sell or wants to produce or wants to. So it will depend on the DNA of the company, in fact, and what it sells.
Right. So on the other hand, what design concepts don't work well for the post-COVID-19 office space?
So it's all the opposite, of course. When we said it's important to be welcoming and have a strong personality, cold and impersonal spaces, of course, which have a main focus on efficiency, doesn't work very well anymore. Like these enormous open spaces without facilities for easy social distancing, very close one each other and very similar, doesn't work well anymore. Because this kind of work condition you can have better at home.
So nowadays, the workplace also means home spaces. So what design solution do you see in home office spaces?
As the most of us live in more smaller places, to be honest, in the big cities, we think that it's important to integrate home office easily into your living space. So the home office equipment has to integrate into the personal living space easily in style and also in modularity. That it's a clever design which shows how you can modulate, adapt a design which can be a working station at the daytime and something else at dinner time or in the evening when you chill. So this is really important to have this kind of possibility to switch from office mode to private use.
Yeah, it's really important because psychological, you have to, even if you stay at home, you have to separate different time of using your home. So it's really important to create something very modular and very adaptable to different time.
And then at the same time, the comfort working at home is the biggest plus point, let's say the biggest positive thing of the home working. So this kind of homely ease is very important. It's not just casual and easy to do, but also something where you feel well, you feel like in a working cocoon in some way. And this kind of desirable sensuality is very interesting here. And soft fabrics, for example, that can work this, it can try to have an interesting touch, easy to live, show it closer, very nice touches. Yeah, it's kind of pleated, you know, for example, it's adapt. When you sit on it and you touch surface, it's kind of adapt to your body, and it's very easy to feel. It's climate reactive. It gives a nice place to work with. At the same time, the colors here voluntary, very neutral, because we think that has to adapt to different spaces. It depends on how your home office is at home, how your home is And the home office would integrate, of course, if you have a very lively colors, you won't adapt to a neutral thing. But for the most people, something more neutral will fit quite well to the most styles. And you can also see this small, not just plain surface, and have these kind of little structures which make the fabrics more interesting, could be a good plus point. You see, for example, the seats, office seats, it doesn't look very nice at home, so you want something which more it's same comfortable, but looks more stylish. And this kind of touch is very interesting. The combined style and comfort for us, which is a very interesting vision.
Right.
And we see also this is for the more everyday expression of it. But sometimes you have to impress you have a big interview, you have yes, important clients.
But we have a nice connotation.
But so it's interesting that you maybe can switch to something more spectacular, even if it's at the same time it's don't have to be there steady. You can have more same again, you have this kind of more structured fabrics with a bit more shine on it. You can have a more marble or more sophisticated fabrics, a color palette which is a bit changing, with combining to darker colors. And also interesting for that you can combine and see, for example, we choose this pattern, and it's with a partner for us who's working, that you can change the background, for example, very easily.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's like a panel.
Yes, it's like a panel. Of course, you can do this on the background of Zooms, but it doesn't really.
But it's
do
much nicer to be.
It's much
real.
nicer and it's more realistic.
Oh,
Yeah.
So move on to the next question. Historically, connotation of a color had been shifting due to a change of lifestyle or cultural significance. Do you think accelerated digital work from the COVID-19 measures would somehow impact on the color connotations?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We think there was a big trend going on before already. This was reconnecting to nature, the need of that, and the desire of a healthy lifestyle. They were, of course, already becoming more and more important. But now with the pandemic and the desire for a healthy lifestyle and reconnect to nature is even more important, especially if you lock down, of course. But seriously, it really strengthens the success of the palette of natural and especially of green colors. So I can show you fabrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
So integrating it, it's a bit pushy. Say, you can have this kind of greens, of course, and they not only green colors, but they also imitate the structures. You see it well up, like plant surfaces, something which has a really also a natural haptic, natural look, and yeah. Of course you have more sustainable fibers. You speak about this later, that are made with the sustainable fabrics, of course enhanced by the greens. But also you can see this kind of fabrics where really like nature is integrated. We see this also in design, that nature is really integrated into the structures of the furniture, of the building. It's not just an added plant which is just behind you, which is nice already, but it's really integrating now into the design conception and also into the fabric conception.
Is this very
This is cork, for example.
structural? Is it like an embossed kind of finish? Or is it printed? I'm not sure. It's like
No,
it's
it's-
very
This is cork and it's overprinted with flocking, for example.
Okay, yes, right.
Here it's different, it's felted. You can see the back side. It's felted and then it's printed and then it's embossed and flocked. It's very quite sophisticated as well.
Right.
But
yes,
it's really
okay.
has this kind, it's just an example to integrate really a natural organic touch to fabrics. It can be either more demonstrative like this or
Yes,
more sophisticated, more subtle like this one.
right. Okay, yes. Yeah, I can see that contrast.
Yeah.
One One is very tactile.
Yes. And visual.
The other is,
Yeah,
yes.
this is more for some more showy parts of furniture or interior design, and I think this is more for bigger surfaces,
Right.
uh,
Yes,
easier to live,
yes.
of course.
Right. Okay.
We also have here this new phenomenon with the digital shapes and colors and aspects which inspire ERL design, especially for younger customers, which are coming up, and this kind of vibrant freedom which is coming from the net also influences, of course, the colors. So we see here this kind of unreal digital colors, like they have the backlighting. So I can show you some more examples again. You have this kind of,
Oh, I see.
yeah, you know, like it's like on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not just
Yes,
one
changing
color,
the
it's
color.
thousands colors, and it's just mixed.
Yeah, multiple.
Like aerial, like if you can touch it, like it's deepness inside here. And you also have here again have this kind of bright colors and then the changing effects.
I see. Right.
Yeah,
And it's interesting to see also the influence of sports, digital games, esports, and
Yes.
things like that in the kind of texture of the fabrics and the,
yeah, and then
and
have
the,
this kind of more sporty.
it's
look
more
also.
sporty, it's more e-sporty, we can say.
Right. Yes. If you were asked to create a new office space, where would you look for inspiration?
I think it's interesting to look to stylish places. As we said, the place should be attractive, stylish and hospitality. So the big trend which was before the pandemic was the kind of stylish designs of professional co-working spaces, for example. There's attracted people, something completely disruptive by the classical office look, and was very attractive, more modern, like this. I think this is still a big trend going on. It must be a working space, a co-working space. It could be every working space now to be more attractive, more stylish, and once again, the same comfortable, safe, and proud to be in a special place, maybe more stylish than your home that you have yourself. So it could also be, of course, the boutique hotels we have seen, which have the same principle. They're not in the classic hospitality. They have more stylish, they have more personality. That's a special place. You're proud to be there. You make your Instagram photo and so on. So it's really interesting to have this kind of design, inspiring to new office places. But of course, they have to complete now with clever hygienic measures and really well integrate this security of health into the design. It's a real new, this is a new challenge, the balance of safety, hygienic safety, and the kind of well-being and
Attractivity.
attractivity. Yeah.
The next question is about sustainability. I like to touch, as it is an important subject to discuss and act on. What sustainability trend do you foresee in the future office interior and the environment?
Yes, as we already kind of started to speak about in the green part, we completely agree with you. Sustainability is the key for the future. And we already mentioned that nature, connecting to nature and healthy environment is really important and an increasing need. So we think for this reason, naturally sourced materials like wood, like bamboo, like cork would be really interesting into the workspace, as well as the introduction, as we said, for plants, really integrated already into the design of the structure of the furniture, of the places, of the interior design. So, of course, bioplastics can be interesting. Also recycled, upcycled fabrics, of course. We think it's really interesting, like we mentioned before already, the developments from waste from the food industry could be interesting. From agriculture, for example, we see a new emergency trend coming that is luxury sustainable materials, like this kind of vegan leather, not made from plastic but made from plants, for example, or from waste for plants, like this the fruit leather, for example, that you can see already in the mobility sector, working in the high class mobility sector coming up. So you think that's interesting to work on that.
And it's always important also to think about interior pollution, you know, to breathe well. It's really important that all the fabrics that could be used tomorrow will help people to breathe well, and with no interior pollution. So it's also an axe, very important.
Right. Do you consider a longer product life to be part of sustainability?
Of course, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, fighting against plant obsolescence is absolutely important, and it's to guarantee that a product makes a long way and lives a long term is, of course, the best way you can treat approach to sustainability. So thinking about its recyclability, also the end of life, what is becoming after the whole circular production methods are really strategic axes to be studied from the moment of the conception of the product.
Okay, so my last question is, if you have to pick one word that is significant for the future workplace, what would it be?
I wouldn't say one word because
It's impossible for one word.
It's impossible. No, but I would say, you know, let's, according to what World Health Organization said, they were talking about emotional well-being, and it covers the fact that you have to be to guarantee physical well-being. It means benefiting from healthy offices, of course. Mental well-being, it means when offices the flexible use of offices does not generate too much stress. It's really important. Right. And finally, social well-being, as we said, that is a way to say welcoming offices, to enjoy meeting your employees there. So let's talk about you know, emotional well-being would be the aim of the way offices has to produce to guarantee, you know, physical, mental, and social well-being for their workers.
So thank you very much, Geraldine and Natalie. That is it from me for today. It was enjoyable and inspiring. And I hope we'll get together again in the near future.
Yeah, I hope
Thank
so.
you.
Thank you very much for your listening.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
thank
big
you.
pleasure.